Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Klarinda Agsela. I am from KM42 International 1, Telkom University. At this moment, I am willing to give a speech about Indonesian behavior that often blame the victim in the case of sex harassment, especially catcalling. Nowadays, there's a lot of action which is very detrimental to a woman. This occurs because women seen as a weak, that is easy to disturb them. Current events that often happen is perverted sex behavior, when perpetrators of sex craving with fanfic or perpetuate a woman who is changing or passive. There's also a direct perpetrators act publicity at fingering, even frequent act of rape. This should be controlled by women because this is very dangerous. There are many consequences and impacts which will be incurred from such behavior. Generally, the victim of sex harassment will feel embarrassed and lose her pride. Okay, let's move on to catcalling. What is catcalling? So basically, catcalling means do things sexually, usually with the volume of heart though, not necessarily explicitly, including whistling, exclaiming, giving gesture, or even commenting. Usually it happens to women who passing by on the street, voicing the sound or commotion to someone that make that person is uncomfortable. As simple as whatever its shape. But the perpetrators hard to realize it. For them, catcall is just something hanging around for their time filler, or maybe a tactic to attract the opposite sex, or even attempt to prize. The perpetrators of catcall often defend themselves by just saying that it is not catcalling, this is just compliment. One that must be understood that basically catcall is not compliment at all. Okay, let me repeat once again. Catcalling is not compliment. The worst again, people often blame the victim instead of the perpetrators when faced this case. The community argue that the catcall caused by the victim, because usually the victim of catcalling is those who wear sexy dress, but it is not true. Even my friends who wear hijab often told me that they used to get a greeting in the form of catcalling, which is Assalamualaikum. Yeah, I know Assalamualaikum is a prayer, but seriously, if a bunch of a men on the street greeting you with Assalamualaikum with the weird gesture, are you sure that they are praying for a peace for you? So actually the problem is not about who is wearing what. The problem here is the lack of morality of the perpetrator. Just imagine, the afraid victim of catcall will feel uncomfortable, disturbed, ashamed, and afraid. They are even got traumatized for a life. So I give you one question. Is it still okay to blame the victim? Whoever does not deserve to treat it that way. What happens is not a fault of the individual victim. The conclusion is, I invite you to realize that catcalling is not compliment. And also I invite you to stop victim blaming, let alone change mindset and train our empathy in order to materialize the atmosphere where is no discrimination and pressure for the victim of crime. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.